talking all about email, but there is one really big, really important thing that we haven't talked about yet, and that is, what do you actually send your email? So today we're going to talk about what you should actually send your email list as a Teachers Pay Teachers author. Now, if you're not a TPT author, hang out anyway because you might find some helpful things. I'm gonna talk really super fast because I think I only have like 11 minutes left on this memory card. So we don't want to waste any seconds. Hopefully no giant log trucks will go through and ruin my footage. So what to send your email list. Number one, send any recent long form content that you have done. So that means if you have written a blog, if you have done a YouTube video, send it to your email list. There's even ways to set it up for your blog at least, where you can automatically send an email when you publish a post, which is super helpful because then you don't have to do it yourself. But always send those to your people, especially if it is free content that they can access, because they might not know that you have it up there. So send it to them so that they can get access to all of the content and they get kind of like the first row. It also helps your content because it gives some traction to it right off the bat. All right, number two goes along with this, and that is any recent products that you have. Now, I do advise you to use this sparingly because I always tell you don't sell in every single email because then your email list will stop listening to you. But maybe, you know, twice a month, once a month, you can send a recent product that you have and let them know that it's available and how to use it. Remember, if you can educate them about the product and how to use it, why it's gonna be better, it's always going to sell better than if you're just like, here, buy my product. So think about ways that you can expand upon, like, how do you use it, why do you use it. If you have any stories from your own classroom, that can also help too. So number two is send recent products to your email list. Like we talked about, I think it was on Instagram actually that I said that. Your email list is gold. Literally gold, like money in the bank. So feel free to send them products as long as you don't send them products like every single day. Number three is you can send them roundups. So this could be a post or it could just be like a roundup in your email. So what I consider a roundup is just literally like a roundup around a group of activities that they can use in their classroom. So you could do like, here are my 3 favorite songs for quarter note, or here is 5 different ways that you can use laminating sheets in your classroom, or here's my 3 best decor hacks, or whatever you have, just kind of a couple of different things. You could type them in, or you could add in like blog posts and different things like that. This is also a great way to sell some of your products without being like, hey, buy my product. You could say, you know, here are my 3 favorite games for quarter notes, and one of them happens to be a product. Now, when you do roundups, do be aware that people are probably not going to click on everything. So if you have like 3 things, I would try to have 2 that you could just write about and then 1 that they click. If you have 5 things, then maybe 2 that are clickable, but just think like if someone clicks on this, it's going to take them off of the email, and so they might not see the other things. So just remember that as you're linking things, that you always want to be careful how many links, because if there's too many links, no one's gonna see them all. Number 4, definitely let your email list know when there is a sale. Email lists are gold when there is a sale, especially if it is a site-wide Teachers Pay Teachers sale. I always send my email list usually 3 or 4 emails during a 2-day sale, and it is the most profitable email that I send all year. Like direct money. So I talked to my UTM code tutorial all about how in one of the sales this year, I made $193 from one email, not to mention the other 2, just from the one, and I track that with the UTM codes, which I will link the video for that tutorial down below. The ironic thing is that actually came out on a sale day. That video did, and on that sale day, my email list from 1 email, and I only sent 1 this time actually because I knew I was going to send them some other products later on, so I didn't want to like inundate them. So I just sent them 1 email, and that 1 email made me, just from people clicking on the link in the email and going there, made me $360. Yeah, so when people are like, do I really need an email list? Yes, you do. You need an email list, because seriously, that was just in one email in one day. That doesn't even count people who maybe saw my email and went on their desktop, or saw my email and went later and purchased. It doesn't account for people who saw me on Instagram. It doesn't count for just natural traffic. It's just from people who in that email clicked on that link and went to Teachers Pay Teachers and purchased. Your email list is gold. Treat them as such. All right, number 5, ideas for your classroom. So you could send your people ideas for your classroom, again, like best practices for how to do centers or classroom decor, favorite crafts. All of those things are things that you can send to your email list. Number 7, there's a plane going overhead, but I'm gonna keep talking anyway, is you can explain things in more detail. So if you have products or maybe things that you have talked about a little bit on Instagram, you can go into more detail on your email list, because you do have people's attention and you have more long form content, because you can type quite a bit in emails if you want. Still keep it, I mean, pretty brief. Use different things to kind of break it up with like bullet points and stuff like that, but you can explain things in more detail. So especially with products, explain your products in more detail so that people understand them, so that people will want to purchase them. The next one is any tips and tricks that you might have. So if you have any like classroom hacks or different things that have worked really well for behavior management, especially if they're recent, like if this week something happened, that would be a great thing to add into your email list and let them know about. The next thing is you can bust some myths. So common myths that people have, feel free to use your email list to set them straight when they say things like, oh, teaching is a career and so you don't check out at the end of the day. No, 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 friends. You are allowed to clock out and do other things. You don't have to work all night. I promise. Busting this right now. The next thing is you can send common questions. So if you have gotten a question from people or on Instagram or whatever, answer them in your emails, because again, it's just a nice place where you can put a lot of detail in and add just a lot of information. The final thing before we get into like ways that you can actually find specific ideas is that you can tell stories. So this is a really fun thing to do with your email list, just to kind of have them get to know you a little better. It could help sell your products. It could just help them get to know you better. It could teach them, but just tell them stories. Let them know things that happened this week, or that really memorable thing that happened with the kid, or that one light bulb moment that went off. Now, I'm not saying treat your email list like your diary, but I'm saying treat your email list like people that you want to talk to. And when you talk to people, you usually tell stories. All right, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you like strategic how to actually find things to tell your email list. This could work for your email. It could also work for social media posts, blog posts, YouTube videos, whatever you do. But here we're talking about email, so we're gonna talk about email. So for each of these different categories, I want you to write down like 10 things. So go get a piece of paper, pause the video, go get a piece of paper. And then for each of these things, I want you to write them down and write like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you can go and write down the ideas that you come to. So what I want you to do is, first of all, go through your messages, whether you are on Instagram or Facebook or on Twitter or whatever, and see what people are asking you. And write 10 things down. If you don't have enough people asking you questions, go ask them some questions. Ask them what they need. Ask them what they want. Let them know that you're here for them. If you still don't have enough people, then you can just go and search like a hashtag and see what other people are asking. Number 2, go in a Facebook group about your niche. So like I'm in elementary music, so I have some different Facebook groups I'm a part of with elementary music, and those usually have 50,000 questions. So you should be able to get 50,000 different ideas, but just write down 10. Number 3 is you can type into Google. So you can start typing whatever your niche is and then see what it ends. So you could write like music education lessons and then see what it auto populates, or even press send and then see what pops up. Also, a little hack, if you put the little asterisk, then Google will like automatically fill in that little piece. So if you put it at the end, Google will automatically fill in there. If you put it at the beginning, Google will automatically fill in there with words that people are typing in to Google. The next thing is to check comments, whether your comments or other people's comments. If you don't have a big enough audience, that's totally fine. Check people's comments, write down another 10 things. And lastly, talk to people in person. So talk to other teachers, talk to people on your wing, talk to people and just see what they're asking, see what questions they have. So that'll get you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just off of those 6 categories, you can get potentially 60 different email list ideas, and even more than that, because realistically, like, I mean, y'all, you go in those Facebook groups and they are like a gold mine. Because it's just like questions all over. My camera is turning red because we are out of time. So I hope you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments. And it died. We almost made it. So let me know below in the comments any strategies that you have, any places that you look in order to get ideas for your email list. And if you still need help with your email, just definitely check out the playlist that's all about email, because we've talked all about how to get people on your email list, do's and don'ts of email, the basics of email, like all of the things. So check out the link down below, and I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.